All right, this is 5.6. Again, somewhat a review on reactions with acids. So just hopefully second time around gets a little more understanding, but we will go through the 3 different types of reactions of acids. So the first one we will discuss is acids and metal. So you make a salt. So you're all making salts and hydrogen gas. The second reaction is your basic acid-base reaction, salt and water. And then the last one is your volcano reaction, where it makes a generation of CO2 gas, salt, and water. So they all have acids involved, that's what's common, and they all make a salt. Salt. So all these make salt reactions. Basically just takes the acid portion and the metal, and you make the common salt. Table salt is NaCl. A salt is just an ionic compound. All right, so this is a very reactive metal reaction. Sorry, it makes hydrogen gas, so that's why it could be a dangerous reaction because hydrogen gas is explosive and it makes a popping sound. So a salt always depends on the acid. Notice all have H's, so the non-metal will be a part of the salt, would be the chloride for HCl, nitrate for nitric acid, sulfate for sulfuric acid, and ethanoate or acetate for ethanoic acid or acetic acid. All right, so hopefully you can answer these questions. Which salt reaction would make the salt magnesium sulfate? So obviously we need to find magnesium, and that's all the reactions, and you have to find what sulfate is. If you think it's C, you are correct. Magnesium sulfate makes from magnesium and sulfuric acid. All right, which reaction would make sodium chloride? So NaCl should see where the hydrogen is, the chloride is with hydrogen, the acid, so you should see B as your answer. And zinc nitrate. So nitrate, you have to look for NO3, and you need to look for letter A to be correct answer. Boom. And ethanoate, which is acetate. So CH3COO or CH3CO2 is the acetate ion, and that will be letter D, CH3COOH. All right, acid-base reaction, very simple reaction. NaOH plus hydrochloric acid makes salt, table salt, and boom, NaCl, and water, HOH, which is the same thing as water. All right, which 2 solutions will make the salt sodium sulfate? So, again, the sulfate will come from the acid, and sodium will come from the base. So you have to find sulfuric acid, which would be either B or C, and then you need to find the base, which is sodium hydroxide, not chloride. So your answer would be C. Again, acid-base reaction. Which 2 solutions would make the salt magnesium chloride? So again, we need the formula for MgCl2. Chloride come from the acid, and Mg would come from the alkali or the base. So you should see that you get answer C, magnesium oxide and hydrochloric acid. All right, so these reactions, hydrochloric acid and calcium carbonate, you make salt, water, and CO2. So you want to make sure you be able to do that reaction. And then the other 2, sodium carbonate and hydrochloric acid, and calcium carbonate and hydrobromic acid. So let's do one of these. Let's do calcium carbonate. So you get CaCO3 plus HBr, and we make CO2 plus water, and then you need the salt, which would come from calcium and bromine. So you get CaBr2. space there. Okay, so pretty simple reactions. You just gotta know that the products are gonna be a salt, and then either it's carbonate, water, and CO2. If it's just a metal, it's hydrogen gas, and then acid base makes water.